not cutting, but untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So glad that you have decided to join me this evening for Sunday Night Empowerment. I am so glad to have all of you that are on with me right now. If you will do me that favor, as I always ask you, go ahead and share the broadcast on your page right now. Text and tag every person that you can think of and invite them to come over and join the conversation now. Do that for me right now so that they'll be alerted that we are here and that they can join in this conversation that we're going to have tonight, that is going to be powerful, uplifting, insightful, and I guarantee you that it will empower you to be able to continue to create the kind of life and the world that you want to live in. Remember, you are the God of your garden. Nothing can exist in your world except you say, let there be. You have to give it permission. You have to allow it to manifest. And we want to make sure that we give you the tools to empower you so that you can create the kind of world, the kind of existence, the kind of lived experience that you desire, and not that you are living an accidental life subject to all of the different whims and turns and ebbs and flows that the world can bring your way. And so you have just tuned into the most powerful place on the planet. This is the Emerge movement, where we are empowering people on their journey towards spiritual wholeness. We invite you to become a part of this movement. This is not just a ministry, it's a movement that is going to spread across this country and around the world as people begin to awaken to their own divinity and the intimacy of having God living in them, through them, and as them. And so we want to make sure that we are plugged in, that we have the information, the insight, the understanding, and the revelation of how we take full advantage of it so that we can have the abundant life. I am just excited and elated about being able to share with you tonight. Those of you that are on here, I see all of my regular partners that are on here as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I see you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Again, alert as many people as you possibly can so that they can come and join us in the conversation. Join us in this conversation as we get into our teaching for tonight. I'm telling you, I'm excited about what I'm going to be able to share with you tonight, and I'm looking forward to being able to give you some more insight. Listen, I want to make sure that I also say this at the beginning of the program. If you want to be sure that you don't miss any of our broadcasts, you want to make sure that you are always alerted, then you can just join our free notification service. All you have to do is text the word emerge to 833-444-0163. The information scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now. Just text the word emerge to 833-444-0163, and you'll automatically be enrolled in our free, and I want to emphasize again, free text notifications. Doesn't cost you a dime. It's absolutely free. All it does is set you up with us so that every time we're getting ready to come on the air, you will receive a text notification on your phone so that you don't miss an opportunity to participate in any of these spiritual conversations. So take about 30 seconds and do that very quickly. Even if you have to log out for a second and log back in, that's okay. Just text the word emerge to 833-444-0163. And you will be automatically signed up for our free text notification. As always, we invite you to go over and visit our website at www.aimministriesinternational.org. The aimministriesinternational.org. The email, I'm sorry, not email, but the web address is on your screen right now, as well as written above in the description. You are welcome to go over and check out our website and see all of the different things that we have to offer there. I guarantee you that you'll be intrigued and informed. And if after reading over it, you decide, you know what, this seems like the kind of movement, this seems like the kind of ministry that I'd like to be a part of. I'm not necessarily connected to a brick and mortar church, or I want to be a part of a place that's mobile and that is open, inviting, and accepting of all people, no matter where you come from or what your stripes are, then this Emerge is the place for you. And if you should decide that you'd like to become a partner, we invite you to do so. All you have to do is shoot me an email to the email address that you see on your screen right now. And in that email, all you have to include is 3 simple words. Everybody knows what they are by now. I want in. That's it. 3 words. I want in. And the moment that you say that, I get your email, I will send you out an information packet that gives you all of the details, insights, and descriptions about what this ministry is about. It gives you some practical understanding of the principles and daily practices that we involve ourselves in, as well as what the benefits and responsibilities are of becoming a partner with the movement. I guarantee you it's not strenuous. It's not anything like what you would really expect. So I invite you to go ahead and send off for that information now. When you have read through it and you are convinced that this is a movement that you definitely want to be a part of, you simply sign the partners agreement and send it back to me, and that's it. You're in, and we are glad to have you as a part of the Emerge movement. All right, so I am so glad and excited again. Like I said, all of you are tuned in, and let's get into where we are going tonight. We have been discussing, our topic has been now for the past few months, we have been discussing under the umbrella of rediscovering your identity. Rediscovering your identity, coming to a grand awakening to your true spiritual identity, who you are, that you are not just some accident, some cosmic mistake, that you are not some unexpected occurrence that has entered into this earth realm. Even though your mom or dad may not have expected you, you were sent here intentionally. You, in agreement with God, chose to enter this dimension and this plane of consciousness at the time that you did, so that you could fulfill a specific purpose in this earth. That you are not a human being anything, but that you are indeed a spirit that is consciously aware of itself being. You are spirit being human in this 3-dimensional form, learning how to navigate this this 3-dimensional existence that we call Earth, and live through this life. And so that if we have discovered that if you do not have a strong sense of identity, then you will find yourself tossed to and fro by every little wind and doctrine, by everything that goes around, like a ship tossed on a sea, because you don't have a strong sense of who you are. And I'm here to tell you that you are a divine spirit. You are everything that God is, because the scripture calls you the offspring of God. We find this written in the sacred text, not only of the Bible, but in the Quran, as well as the Bhagavad Gita and other sacred texts that all describe us as being supernaturally supernatural spiritual beings or divine spirit. And we looked at what defined the divinity. The divinity is defined by being omnipotent, that is all powerful, omnipresent in every place at the same time, no place that God is not, omniscient, all knowing, nothing outside of the parameters of its knowing, and omniactive, always constantly in motion, moving, creating, curating, and we are evolving and becoming. And so, because we are indeed a divine spirit, we possess divinity within us, then we need to learn now, and we have been learning how then as a spirit that is consciously aware of itself as being a human now navigates in this earth realm, and how do we now begin to curate and then create and curate the kind of life and create the kind of world that we desire to live in, that we are not victims of circumstance, that we are not waiting for things to happen to us arbitrarily, we're not victims of fate, that nothing happens to us, everything happens for us, that everything is at our fingertips, and that we exercise dominion and authority in this realm of existence, and that we are here to subdue the earth, and that the earth is now aligning itself with us. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That all of the universe, all of the planets and the atmosphere, the stars, the moon, the sky, all the elements, particles that go into making up this universe, all now align themselves with us, because we are the reflection, the image, the likeness of God. We are God uniquely expressing and experiencing itself as human. And so all of nature and all of the universe and all of existence now must align itself, come into harmony with our divinity. And so, in understanding that, we began to explore the four governing laws of divinity, four universal governing laws of divinity that actually act as a guide. And when we have an understanding of these laws, we can better know how to now walk in harmony with them, align ourselves with them, so that we can use them as the tools that they are designed to be, to make sure that we are getting the outcomes in our life that we desire, that we're not waiting for Prince Charming, and we're not waiting for pie in the sky by and by, and we're not looking for someone to come in and rescue us and Sky Daddy to come down and be our protector. I got that phrase from another brother on Facebook. I just thought it was funny, Sky Daddy. But anyway, we're not looking for Sky Daddy to come down and rescue us and protect us and fight our battles for us, for we recognize that God is not detached from me, not separate from me, but God lives in me and through me and as me, that the word, the Logos, is nigh me, even in my mouth and in my cardia, soul, my heart, that God dwells within me, the fullness of the Godhead dwells within me bodily, and that it is experiencing and expressing itself as me in the earth realm. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? And so, as a result, then, I'm not at the mercy of life and the mercy of circumstances, but I am walking in authority and in concert with these four governing laws, using them strategically to create the kind kind of lived experience that I desire. My goodness. And so we have been going through these laws. The first law is your outer world of form and experience is a reflection of your inner world of thoughts and feelings. In other words, that whatever your experience are in the external is nothing more than a mirror or reflection back to you of what's taking place internally. Yes, you create your lived experiences, you create your occurrences and the form that they take by how you hold truth within your own consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, you live in the reality that you create. You live within the matrix that you are the creator of. Number two, the second law is the greater your awareness of the presence of God within you, the more that presence fills your consciousness. This then we understood was amplifying to us how we are one with God, that we are one with God and therefore one with all of creation, that everything has its genesis or emanates from God, and that God, since God is in me, through me, and I and as me, and I am an expression of God, then I am interconnected and intertwined with everything that exists in this three-dimensional world. There is no separation between God and I. Therefore, there is no separation between myself and nature, myself and the universe, and yes, myself and you and every other individual or human that I encounter. That every person I encounter in life is just a different manifestation of the same spirit. One spirit, multiple millions, billions upon trillions of iterations or expressions or reflections or images or three-dimensional forms, all of them are reflecting uniquely and differently the one spirit, that we all emerged from God, out of God, and then remain in God, with God, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell in the world. That the world consists and is held together by that omnipresent spirit that is not only above me, surrounding me, around me, or beneath me, but in me, through me, and as me. And therefore, I am not only one with God, but I am one with everything that is the creation of God. And since God is the creator of all things, then I am one with everything. I am one with the all of everything, and I am one with everything that the all of everything has created. Yes, it is the illusion of separation that leads to our dysfunction within the earth and causes us to begin to behave like victims rather than as the divine beings that we are. But when you recognize that God and I are one, that I am God's hands, God's eyes, God's mouth, God's voice, that I am the unique expression of God in the earth, then it changes everything. And now I understand that I can take responsibility for my own life, because I have been entrusted and infused with both the power, that is the right, and the authority to be able to take care and create the life and the world that I want. I could stay there, but I got to keep going. I'm just reviewing. The third law is that the deeper your understanding of spirit as source, substance, and activity of your supply, the more permanently that truth will be etched in your consciousness. And we are just completing and winding up and tying a bow into this section, for we've spent quite a few weeks now talking about the Spirit of God within me is the source of my supply. Understanding how we have abundance within us consistently, always churning and turning, wanting to come forth and to outpicture in our three-dimensional experience that abundance that we are. Yeah, that we are not seeking after prosperity. We are what causes prosperity. We have the kingdom of God within us. Yes, the Spirit of God within us, which is the curator and creator of all abundance. And that Spirit is always thinking in terms of abundance, and we look at the different laws and keys that are attached to abundance and saw how we can experience the abundant life, abundance in finances, abundance mentally, abundance spiritually, abundance physically, abundance in every avenue and aspect of our being, simply by holding this simple truth within our consciousness, that it is not my job that is my source. It is not another person that is my source. It is not money that is my source. It is not things that is my source. That the Spirit of God that resides within me is the source of my supply. And out of that source comes all of the resources that I need, that I can create money, that I can become a mighty money magnet, not because I crave money, but because money craves me. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Yes, I'm not looking after it. It's coming and chasing me down, because I seek first to be in alignment with the kingdom of God that is within me, and all of these other things as a result are added to me. My focus is on perfect harmony and alignment with the kingdom of God within me, therefore aligning myself with the laws that govern the universe. And as a result, the inextricable and inevitable outcome is that I experience abundance. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get caught up there, because if I do, I will not get to number 4, which is where we are tonight. Number 4, and this is where we will dive in tonight. The fourth law and final governing law of divinity says it is your spiritual consciousness, your knowledge of the presence of God within you as total fulfillment that interprets itself as every form and experience in your world. Let me say that again. It is your spiritual consciousness, rather, of your knowledge of the presence of God within you as total fulfillment. It is your spiritual consciousness or knowledge of the presence of God within you as total fulfillment. As total fulfillment. That knowledge will interpret itself in every form and experience in your world. Let me take a moment and unpack that, if I can, tonight, and see if we can't get a better understanding of this last of the 4 governing laws of divinity and what this means. This particular law is emphasizing the necessity of contentment. Let me say that again. It is emphasizing the necessity of contentment. I'm going to leave it up on the screen a little bit longer for those of you who are trying to write it down. I want to give you time to write it all down. This particular law, it emphasizes and amplifies the necessity of contentment. It is your spiritual consciousness, your conscious awareness, your knowledge of the presence of the omnipotent divine God within you as my total fulfillment. Many of you have heard this song that talks about, I'm happy with Jesus alone. Well, this is not about Jesus. This is about God. It says, I am happy and content with God alone, that I have learned to be fulfilled and content with the knowledge that God is one with me. That God and I are one. Therefore, I lack nothing. I want nothing. I need nothing. I am complete and totally fulfilled. In Colossians, Paul writes, for you are complete in Him. Let me say that again. He writes that you, that's you and I, are complete in God. Now he writes this at a time of what physically looks like incompletion. You're talking to a group of people, a ragtag group of people that are dysfunctional and crazy and coming out of one religious practice and being persecuted and chased around, and they are being hit and bombarded with different information from Judaizers, from Romans, from the Greeks that are all telling them that you are involved in a cult. Something's wrong with you. Something's missing. Something's broken. You're off because you don't fit within society's norms. You're not following the traditions. You're not keeping the rituals. We believe you need to be circumcised. Others are saying, no, we believe you need to sacrifice to this particular God. Others in the community were saying that, no, we believe that you need to be celibate. And then Paul comes along and he says to them, he says, you need to understand this. All of these other rules and regulations that they're trying to impose upon you are simply designed to confuse you. He goes further to say that the Christ, that is Jesus the Christ, came into the earth realm and fulfilled all of the requirements of all of these different laws and took the rules and regulations that were designed to be against you, to hold you in captivity, to bind you. He says he took them and he nailed them to the cross. In other words, he obliterated them. He annihilated them. He destroyed them. He caused them to be of none effect. He put them into an open shame and said, everything is settled now. And I say to you, Paul says, that since he has done this, you need this one assurance that you are absolutely complete in God. Listen to what he says. He says you are complete, that you are whole, that you don't lack anything. You're not wanting of anything. You don't need for anything. You're not diminished in any capacity. Can I talk to you tonight and tell you that the moment that you become consciously aware of yourself as being the divine image and likeness of God, you become aware of the fact that if I and God are one, if I am God in the flesh, then I don't have any deficits. Are you hearing me? I don't have any deficiencies, nor do I have any wants or desire, wants or needs or a scarcity or lack. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That everything that I am is exactly everything that I desire, and that I can rest and be content in my completion, my wholeness in God. Culture tries to convince you that you are broken, that there is something that's wrong with you, something wrong with the way you dress, something wrong with the way you talk, something wrong with the color of your skin, something wrong with the person you love, something wrong with your sexual orientation, something's wrong with your religion, something's wrong with your belief, something's wrong with your idea, something's wrong with your community, something's wrong with your country. They're trying to convince you that something is wrong with you, but I came to encourage, empower, and interject into your conscious awareness that there is nothing that's wrong with you, that you are complete in God. Let me say it again. You are complete in God. The real you, the spirit you, the divine you is complete and whole and lacking nothing. Do you hear what I said? I said the divine you, your divine self, is complete and whole and lacking nothing. That there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing broken about you. There is nothing traumatized about you. All of the other things that you have experienced and that you hold within your conscious mind that are contrary to wholeness are just an illusion. I'll say it one more time for the people sitting in the back. I said that every other contrary thought that you hold within your mind about yourself is just an illusion. If it does not align with the complete and wholeness of your true divine self, it's an illusion. Now, it may be an illusion that you have ascribed to. It may be an illusion that you have embraced as your truth. It may be an illusion that's having an effect on your perception, your words, and your actions, and causing you to think and to behave and to speak in a way that is contrary to your wholeness. But I'm telling you that regardless, it's still an illusion. Your ascribing to it doesn't make it any less an illusion. And I came to be the alarm clock to awaken you to the fact that those thoughts don't belong to you. Those ideas don't belong to you. Those misgivings about yourself, those warped painted pictures and portraits that you are holding in your consciousness about yourself, what grandmama said and daddy said, what your trauma said, what your experience said, they all lied to you. That is not who you are. You are not defined by any of them, but you are complete in God. Woo. You're complete. Let me say it again. You are complete in God. You are complete. You have to flush out all of those illusions and delusions that have cluttered, clouded, and clogged your mind and convinced you of a lie. You have been spending decades of your life believing a lie about yourself, believing that you are quick-tempered, believing that you are angry and mad and hurt and broken, and believing that you are worthless and selfish and mean, and believing all of the lies that have been spoken over your life. But I came to inform you, to awaken you, to encourage you, to empower you, and tell you, you are complete in God. Nothing missing, nothing broken. So the wrestle that you are having is allegorious to the same wrestle that Paul writes about in Romans chapter 6, 7, and 8, when he says, the very thing that I would do, I don't do, and the very thing that I say that I'm not gonna do, I find myself do it. He says, I'm fighting and I'm warring within myself because I have a will to do that which is good, which is perfect, which is righteous. But then I have this other thing over here that's fighting against me. I'm having to fight with my grandmama's fight and my daddy's fight and the curses spoken over my life. And I'm having to fight with the trauma of the rape or the molestation or the abandonment. And I'm having to fight with all of these lies that have been spoken over me that told me I should think like this, feel like this, act like this, move like this, that I have to be scared and afraid and protective and live in a corner and isolated from the rest and don't trust and don't open and don't let anybody come. I have to live on an island to myself that tells me I can't do anything right. I can't understand this. I'm not smart enough, strong enough, tall enough, skinny enough, big enough, strong enough, black enough, white enough. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying? It's all an illusion. And you are fighting to come to the place of contentment. Contentment. To be fulfilled. To be content. To be fulfilled. To be gratified. To find pleasure and blissfulness in just being. Wrestling with my own mind, my emotions warring against me. My mind seems to be fighting against me. And everything around seems to keep confirming that something is wrong with me. But deep within the center of your being, you get a knowing, an intuitive knowing that says there's nothing wrong with you. You can stop this whenever you want. You can change this. You can emerge. You can evolve out of this. You can defeat this. You can overcome this. You can withstand this. You can be this. It's there all the time. You feel it. I know you do. I know you do. I know you feel it every time you find yourself getting angry and yelling and screaming and acting out of character, every time that you're fearful, every time that you throw up the wall of defense to try and hide behind, every time that you respond with that trauma response, there is a small, still voice within you that says, this isn't you. This is not all who you are. This is not your true nature. You're bigger. You're better. You can overcome this anytime you get ready. I'm telling you that that's the voice of your divinity. That's God speaking in you, through you, and as you to you. That's God telling you that I am your fulfillment. I am your completion. I am all that you need. I made you whole, and nobody can break you. I said I made you whole, and can't no man break you. Can't no circumstance, can't no situation, can't no relationship break you. Because I made you whole. I made you just like me. And since God can't be broken, neither can you. And God can't be defeated, neither can you. And God doesn't have low self-esteem, neither do you. And God is not feeling like he's unworthy and devalued, neither should you. Are you understanding what I'm saying, God creature? Are you understanding what I'm saying, God man, God woman? Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Are you catching what I'm trying to say to you? You've got to find your place of contentment. There remaineth the rest for the children of God. It is there in your higher consciousness, in your spirit mind, that all of that knowledge, your knowing of your wholeness is stored, and you have to access it and allow it to now penetrate and come through the cracks and crevices of your soul, entering into your conscious awareness, saturate and inundate every part of your being, reminding you of who you really are, that you're not some scared little crying baby peon off in a corner somewhere, defeated and depressed, oppressed and suppressed, but understanding, no, I am a divine reflection of all that is. I am the divine reflection of the creator of all that is, the all that is everything. I am that, and there is no brokenness in me. I am complete in God. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Paul writes again in Philippians, when he is writing to the Philippians, he is speaking within the context of them having decided that they would send him an offering and send him some goods in order to sustain him while he is in prison. The people in Philippi thinks about him, and they decide that we're going to send him some of the things that would comfort him, and we're going to send him some money to sustain him as he is going through this difficult time. And so he begins to write back to them a thank you letter, and in the thank you he says to them, I am encouraged that once again your care for me has been stirred by my bonds. I appreciate the package that you sent to me and those who you sent to bring it to me. I am grateful for your gifting, he says, and that once again you have saw to my need. And then he said, but not that I speak in respect of want. He says, I don't want you to think for 1 second that I am saying this because I accept that I have want, need, or lack. Listen to what he says. He says, not that I speak in respect of want. I have no want, no lack, no desire. No lack, no need or scarcity. He says, I just desire fruit that can abound toward you. He says, in other words, I just desire that you sow into me so that it can now reverberate back toward you. He's saying, I'm just the conduit. I am the tool that you are able to sow in so that you can have increase and abundance in your life. It's not because I lack, want, or need. It is because I desire that you have some conduit that you can sow into so that you can have multiplied increase coming back to you. Then he makes this one profound statement that I want to highlight tonight. Then he says, for I have learned that in whatsoever state I am in, therewith to be content. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me say it again. He says, I have learned, which means that he didn't always have this mindset, that at one point he thought just like other humans, but he had evolved and arrived at a spiritual awakening and understood the presence of God within him as total fulfillment. And he said, I have learned that in whatever state I'm in, how to be content. Oh God, he says, I've learned in whatsoever whatsoever state I'm in, therewith to be content. The word contentment means a feeling or experience when one is at peace with the world around him from within him. He is at peace with the world within him. He has gratification, pleasure, blissfulness, and exuberance about his inward world. Let me say that again. That contentment is when one has found peace with his inner world, that there is an exuberance, yes, a blissfulness, a gratefulness, gratification with his inward world. He began to say that my peace, my fulfillment, my gratification has nothing to do with the events occurring in my life at the present moment, have nothing to do with the things that are happening and surrounding me at this present moment. I want you to realize that who we're talking about here, so it will highlight what he means when he talks about I've learned how to be content in every state. You are talking about a man who gives his testimony in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, where he says, I've been shipwrecked, I've been beaten, I've been in prison, I've been drugged through the street, I've been spitting and abused, I've had people seeking to take my life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? He says, man, I've been through it all. Anybody that can talk about having suffered, he says, man, I've suffered everything. Yet this man, having dealt with all of these atrocities, says, I have learned in therefore whatsoever state I'm in, therewith, that is in that state, how I can still have fulfillment, joy, gratification, and pleasure. I am at peace within me. It is well with my soul. Yes, when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, he has taught me to say, it is well with my soul. I've learned to be at peace. I've learned how to be content because I recognize that anything outside of me does not dictate my fulfillment, my satisfaction, my exuberance, my joy is not based on external things, not based on circumstances, situations, or relationships, but it is based upon my awareness of the presence of God within me, that I have no need, no lack, no want, no scarcity, because all that I need, I am. All that I want, I am. All that any would lack, I am. I am the fulfillment of all that I need because I am the divine reflection of the Almighty God. And how can God have a want? The Lord is my shepherd. I have no want. I look to the hills, hey God, from which cometh my help. I'm not talking about a mountain out here. I'm talking about my higher consciousness, the hill of the Spirit. God have mercy. That higher consciousness of the Spirit of God within me, that is the source of my supply. I look to that hill. My soul is at rest. My mind is at peace. Everything within me rests in the knowledge that I am, that I am. I am that I am. Are y'all, oh goodness. Hi, God, I tell you, are you getting what I'm saying? Lord, I hope I'm getting through. I pray to God that I'm getting through. Lord, what time is it? What the? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. That I'm getting. My time is off. that I have and that I am that I am. Whatsoever state I'm in, whatever my lot, whatever my surrounding circumstances, whatever the relationship, whatever the situationship, whatever the circumstance, whatever the occurrence or the event, I'm not bound. I'm not broken. I'm not despondent. I'm not disquieted. I'm not diseased. Are y'all hearing me? Because I know I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that completion, that wholeness, that nothing missing, that nothing lacking, that nothing broken. I am that. That's who I am. I'm not scared. That doesn't define me. I'm not broken. That's not me either. I'm not afraid. That's not me. I'm not weak. That's not me. I'm not poor, busted, disgusted. That's not me. I am that I am. I am complete in God. Come on, say it with me. Say it in the comments. I am complete in God. I wish I had time. There's another space where Paul begins to talk about money as it relates to material wealth and gain. And he says, listen, I don't want you for one moment to start thinking that material wealth and gain are what real are material wealth and stuff and things are real gain, because he says godliness with contentment is great gain. Oh, God, I wish I had time to really dig into that text right there. I don't have the time tonight, but I'm telling you, he says, godliness with contentment is great gain. He says the real gain, the real reward, the real treasure is not the houses, the cars, the money, and the land, but it is the fulfillment that I have. It is the sense of wholeness, completeness, fulfillment, exuberance, contentment, brilliance, the abundance that I sense from within. No lack, no want, no scarcity. That is the great reward. And the latter part of the law says, when I hold this truth in my conscious awareness, when I fully embrace that truth, then it will then interpret itself in form and experience. That I began to now, without effort, almost effortlessly. Oh, goodness. Ooh, almost effortlessly. My real effort is in coming into conscious awareness of God being my total fulfillment, my completeness, my wholeness, my oneness. And as a result of radiating that energy, then it will outpicture itself and begin to interpret itself in every form and every experience. I begin to draw the reflective piece that I am into my circumstances, into my surroundings. Are you hearing me? I begin to draw it into my home, my lived experience, my relationships. I draw it in. If I stop trying to live my life from the outside in and start living it from the inside out, then the inside will shape and form the outside, and the outside will reflect the inside. I'll get it on Thursday. I'll pick it up in our next session. Great. Believe me, I got a lot more to say, but I don't have a whole lot more time. So I got to get out of here. Ooh. Gloria, I'm telling you more and more, I'm considering doing this 2 hours instead of 1 hour, because I'm telling you an hour is just not enough time. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy. I know you were empowered and blessed by the teaching and the impartation tonight. Listen, because you were blessed by it and empowered and strengthened, because you received it and it has now impacted your life, it is also only right that you should also sow and be supportive of that which has blessed your life. Not that I speak in respect of want, but I desire fruit that may abound to you. I desire to be the conduit or a vehicle through which you are able to sow your seed or give your offering and cause the beginning of your circulation, your flow of abundance to come into your own life. And so I want you to consider tonight sowing into this ministry. You can do so by using any of the means that you see on the screen right now. You can use our Cashapp at Emerge LEC, at Zelle, ijmiles38@gmail.com, and with PayPal, AIM Ministries at ymail.com. We appreciate your generosity and all that you do, and we are grateful that we are in a position to be the conduit through which the tool and vehicle that you are able to use in order to further your increase in abundance and abounding in your own life. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon. We'll be back on Thursday night at 7 p.m. That's if we don't come on before then, but certainly Thursday. But y'all know that if I feel an unction, I'll be back on before then, and we will continue the conversation. We are looking forward to sharing with each and every one of you. You have a wonderful, outstanding, and stupendous night, and then make tomorrow your best day ever. Good night, and I love you.